Welcome. My name is Danielle, and as always, I'm so glad you're here. Now, I don't know about you, but I find it really hard through day-to-day life not to just hold on to stress as I go throughout my day. In the modern world, the society that we have, we're just engaged and enraged and overstimulated and just holding on to it all day long. And that's great for a moment or two, but when you're holding on to that, it's just not sustainable. It's not healthy. Our bodies are clenching, our muscles, our nervous system, it's on fire. We gotta let it go. So today I have a nice begin sequence prepared to help us slow down, tune in with our breath, let that nervous system release. So it's a little bit more expedited today than normal. We're going to be holding each pose for 4 minutes instead of 5. So that gives you a little bit more time back in your day, but it also gives you an incentive to really find your pose and breathe a little bit quicker to get the best out of it. You don't need any props as always, but you're welcome to get a block or two, a pillow or two, a blanket, just whatever's lying around the house. I will have one pillow ready to demo some stuff, but it's never a requirement. All you need is yourself and your breath and a quiet place to sit. All right, I will meet you on your mats here in a minute. All right, so we are here, we're ready. Maybe we have some relaxing music going on in the background. Maybe we've turned the lights down, closed the door, just turned out as much external busy stimulus as we can. We're going to go ahead and get started. So as I said before, I'm going to do it 4 minutes each pose, and a bell is going to ring between each pose. It's going to be our signal to let us know to move out and gently move into the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and start our little timer. All right, and that is our cue to get started. So we are going to start today in a butterfly pose. So I'll turn to the side so you can kind of see our options. So you're welcome to stay seated up, bringing your feet together out in front of you. You can kind of play, do you want your feet in closer? Do you want your feet out farther? Just kind of feeling it out in your hips. You can put some blocks underneath your knees if you'd like to support them. And we have 2 options. You can stay forward and maybe hugging a pillow, hugging a bolster, or just going straight forward, rounding down, tucking the chin, just letting gravity pull you down. Or you can take a pillow, a bolster behind you and start to lay back, going into a reclined variation. So I'll demo that as well. And again, having those blocks under your knees is a great choice. Having pillows, having blankets, it all makes it more accessible. So this is what it would look like. Maybe hands up, maybe hands on your thighs. And just tuning in. I think I'm going to go ahead and take my pose sitting up because I'm just not feeling it in my back today. So listen to your body and do whatever is feeling right for you. So sitting in here, growing tall, lengthening through the spine and surrendering in. And here at the beginning, we're just taking that time to tune in to our breath. Slow that heart rate down and give our body the chance to just breathe. So doing some deep belly breaths. If you're taking the seated variation, you can really feel your breath on the inhales as your belly expands. If you're taking it lying down, maybe you can feel the breath on the exhale as you feel your body grow heavier, sinking into the earth. Just take a moment at the beginning to just notice. How are you feeling in your body right now? Where are you holding? What muscles are tight? How are your thoughts? How is your breath? Is it shallow? Is it peaceful? Just assess. What is your baseline here today? So our goal is to improve that baseline at the end. So let's really make a note here at the beginning just to see how this practice will serve us. So we're already over halfway. Just getting into it. Can you sink in a little bit more? Soften in as much as you can. Right, the more our body, our muscles are tensing, right, the more our body is resisting, the less benefit we can get out of it. So try to be open and receptive. Really let your body be soft, be free. Maybe noticing, can I go a little bit deeper? Twisting, relaxing in. And then we release, gently walking yourself back up. Maybe taking a moment, bringing your knees back in, using your hands to support them, bring them in. And then windshield wipering them side to side, just kind of lubricating those joints. So next up, we're going to go into some side twists. So 2 options. If you were taking it reclining and you want to stay reclining, you're welcome to it. You're just going to take your knees and then drop them over to one side. And then extend your arm out, look to the other. That can be a nice supportive option some days. Just trying to bring your shoulder down, your knees down. I'm going to take it sitting up today. So I'm going to take my knees off to one side, kind of doing a 90-90 in the knees. Trying to get them close to 90 as you can. Then extending tall through the spine and then gently just starting to rotate over to the opposite side. So it's just 2 different variations, just depending on how deep you want to go or how much effort you want to put in. Now, sometimes the ground can be receiving, can be welcoming, and you just want to feel supported by Mother Earth a little bit longer. But then sometimes sitting up, we can get a little bit deeper into our hips, our tissues. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's too much. So, what level of effort do you want to put in today? How hard was your day? How crazy, how stressful? And staying grounded is always a valid option. But if you are staying seated, breath by breath, just seeing, can I twist a little bit more as my muscle, as I open up? Maybe looking the neck, bringing the neck into it if we're looking over the shoulder. You're also welcome to maybe drop your head side to side, dropping to opposite shoulder, just kind of waking up the neck, rolling the head. If it feels like it's calling to you. But we don't want to take the emphasis away from our legs, our hips. So again, noticing what we're feeling. How is your breath? Maybe checking in. I'm not quite warm enough, but maybe I can walk my legs out a little bit, get closer to 90-90. But that hand is on your opposite knee, growing tall and breathing through it. Can we relax our shoulders a bit? Softening our face, softening our brow. Nothing here in this moment but our breath. Almost there. That's our cue to release. So gently starting to walk your knees back in through center. Maybe do a little windshield wiper. Lubricate those joints. Maybe bring your knees in, give them a little bear hug, loosen them up. And then we take it over to the other side. So if we're reclining, we're just dropping them down to the other side. If we're seated, we're swapping our feet over to the other side. And I'll sit up a little taller so you can kind of see. So again, we're working our legs towards 90 in time, but you might not be there. You might have them kind of more closer in. That's okay. We're gently starting to walk our legs forward as our bodies open up. And then eventually we'll have our hip down making contact, but just seeing where we're at. So once you have your roots growing tall, going into our twist. We're breathing length. So we're opening up here on the right side of the body, left side of the body. Right hip, left side. That's what we're doing. And then breathing through it. Can we maybe make contact with our spine, really imagining a long, neutral spine, crown of the head shining skyward, shoulders rolling down the back, maybe gazing over your shoulder if it feels okay, maybe doing some neck rolls on this side as well. And then noticing, where are you holding in this pose? Can we soften our muscles? Find ease and space in this moment. Really tune into your breath. Maybe feel the inhales, the cold air coming in through the nose. And feel on the exhales that warm air going out. Softening in breath by breath. A little bit longer. Got 1 minute mark. So what can you find in this moment to make it just 10% more comfortable? Can I walk my feet out a little bit more? Get those bent a little bit closer. Maybe can I ground that hip down a little bit more? Relaxing that leg, depending on which side. It's my right, but it might not be yours. But that leg that's further back, can we soften in? Closing the eyes, just sensing what's going on the inside. All right, that's our mocho sign to release. So gently taking those hands underneath those knees, bringing them back in. Maybe taking a moment, windshield wiper them side to side. Maybe give them a big bear hug one more time. We're gonna set up for a thread the needle, getting into our shoulders a bit. So probably don't need a pillow, but you might. Always have it there as an option. Starting in tabletop, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift that right arm up, reaching, finding length, stretching north to south. And then on the exhale, that right hand comes behind the left wrist, palm facing up. Then we're bringing the right shoulder down, right temple down, and then just kind of settling in. This is an option if it's too much. You can take that pillow, put it under your shoulder, just kind of bring it up higher, Maybe put the pillow underneath your head. So it's almost like you're going to sleep. That's another option. I'm just going to remove the pillow and do it old school. And then just kind of playing. You can tuck your toes, maybe keep them flat. Maybe just kind of see how that feels. And then we're trying to open our chest to the right, the left, or we're pressing the right arm in. So really opening up that left shoulder, imagining it going up to the sky. And breathing space. So we want to be not going to our max. We're not trying to get into the muscles, right? The yin is all about those connective, deeper tissues. So we don't want to go to our edge where we're really straining. We want to soften in. So maybe going to where like 80% of how far we would normally stretch. And then just finding softness. Checking in with micro adjustments. I tend to want to hike my right hip in. Really want to keep those hips square, parallel with the ceiling. So can we make some micro adjustments there? Maybe imagining sending the hips to the back of our mats. And then reassess. Might want to go for a shoulder bind as you open, leaving your hand at your back. Maybe going for that opposite hip. And then closing the eyes, tuning in to what is going on. How can I find a little bit more softness? Got 1 minute and 15 seconds left. So that's plenty of time to explore this shape if you want to find a bit more sensation. Maybe as we're going deeper in this pose, just noticing what thoughts are coming up. Is your mind racing? It's wanting to get out. It's wanting to change. And just telling your mind, it's okay. My body needs this. It's just a few breaths more and we'll be free. Right, there it is, our signal to release. So grounding that left hand down on your inhale, unwinding, stretching north to south, shaking out that right arm if needed. Maybe take a moment in neutral, doing some cat-cows, just kind of shaking out the spine, shaking out that shoulder, and preparing ourselves for the other side when you feel ready. So same thing this side. Just taking that left hand, stretching it north to south, finding space. And then taking our hands, sliding it behind the right wrist, bringing the left shoulder down, left forehead. And again, you might want that pillow underneath the shoulder, underneath the head. You might not, and you might be different from side to side. We're all different, hour to hour, day to day. Even doing the same sequence in the morning versus in the evening, you might need something different. Our bodies are never the same, never constant. And so just asking yourself, what do I need in this moment? Not what do I want to need, but what do I really need? And then giving yourself some kindness to be okay with what it is that you need. Maybe as we're opening up, going deeper, maybe placing your hand on your hip to start. Then maybe going for the full bind as you open up deeper, but not rushing it. Right? The point of yin is to find comfort in softness, not strain. So the more we can be comfortable in a pose, the more we can open up into it. Making those micro adjustments, checking in with your hips. Have they hiked up to one side? Maybe changing it up. I'm going to walk my hand forward, actually, this side. My left hand a little bit forward to kind of square my left shoulder down. That feels a little bit better right now on this side. And breathing into that left shoulder. What's that mind doing? Is it racing? Is it restless? And calming it down, coming back to our breath. All right, there's our cue. Right hand planting down, gently coming out of it. On your inhale, stretching up, stretching that arm, maybe wiggling out the wrist, the shoulder. Coming back to tabletop, maybe shaking it out a bit, doing some cat-cows, some hip circles, shoulder circles. Just really gently loosening up and coming into the body. Then next up, we are going to do a low lunge. Then going into swan right after. So lots of options here. We're going to do that right side first. So when you're ready, that right leg is going to come forward. You can put it on the outside of the right hand or the inside, just kind of feeling what feels good. I'm going to take it a little wider on the outside for more of a kind of lizard lunge. And then settling in. You're welcome to take a pillow, maybe supporting the hip. That might feel a little bit good. Might not. You might want to take some blocks underneath your hands. Come up even higher. That might feel good. Just finding some space. As you warm up into it, you might be able to wiggle those hips a little bit deeper. Your right big toe can be grounding down, really kind of keeping the inner leg lines active, or you might want to start to tilt the foot open, kind of opening your knee up out to the side. So kind of chilling, right, grounding it down or opening it up, just seeing what feels good. But we're lifting the heart up, kind of a little back bend in here as we sink the hips forward. And then just a gentle side to side, opening up our hips. If you want to find a little movement or stay in stillness. And as you open up, you might have more space to go deeper. So if you have a block, you have those pillows, you might come down on your forearms. That might feel good. And then as you progressively warm up even more, you might go down onto the mats. That might also feel good. And if it feels too much, you might want to back out. It's okay. You can do less. That's your prerogative. These are all options, never obligations. But finding whatever pose has the most comfort in this moment. So maybe dropping the head down, tucking the chin. You can also do some neck rolls in this pose. Kind of keep you distracted, maybe keep you more present, and just to see. Our whole body is a kinetic chain, connected, holding tension. So we are trying to do a full body release here, getting into all of our body. And that neck is included. Almost done here, just over 30 seconds. Can we breathe? Can we soften? Can we be present? All right, there is our cue to release. So gently start to walk your hips back a little bit. We're going to go into our pigeon, our swan pose, but you might need a little bit of release in the hips. So I like to just kind of go back into a half splits and just wiggle my hips out just a little bit to get some release. And as you feel ready, start to rebend that right knee. Start to walk the foot over to the left side of our mat, dropping that knee down. So we're setting up for pigeon pose. Lots of options here. If you need it in the hips, take that block, take a pillow, putting it underneath your right hip. We want to try to get our hips square with the mat. So if you're feeling like one hip is too uneven, cushion whichever hip you need to get them level. One day we're going to have our shin parallel with the top of the mat, but that can be really intense in our knees. So bend your knee, bring it a little closer in towards you if you need that. Just find whatever support you need to be comfortable and find relaxation, right? We want a little bit of stress, of tension, but not pain. So if you're feeling acute, sharp pain, that is your sign to back out. Find a softer variation. And then whatever pose you're taking can stay up tall for the full 4 minutes. If you want to start to surrender in as your hip opens up, maybe take a reclined pigeon, sleeping swan. As you get into it, coming down on your forearms. And again, you can have a block underneath the forearms. Or maybe you're taking elbows out wide, stacking the hands on top of each other and surrendering the head. And maybe can we wiggle our hips a little bit more back? And as we open up, that might give you the space to take that right foot, wiggle it forward just a bit more. Just all things to be curious about. What can I do in this moment? See, I love that lizard lunge pigeon combo because the lunge is getting into one hip. Pigeon is getting into the other. Front and back, the inside, outside, they balance each other out. So let's see if we can keep the same intensity sensation in each pose and find some comfort, some release. Well over halfway through it. So we're already there. The end is in sight. But how can I get the most out of this moment? Right? What can I do to be 10% more comfortable, maybe 10% more present, and breathing into that tightness, that space that needs it the most? All right, there's our cue to release. So walking our upper body back up, We're going to start to tuck those back toes, start to kind of walk our hips forward, bending that left leg, then taking that right leg behind us, coming back into tabletop. So get yourself some release, do some hip circles, do some cat-cow, whatever you need to release that right hip, right leg, and reverse circles if you've taken it. And then we will do both of those poses on the other side. So as you're ready, start to gently bring that left foot up. You can put it on the inside of the feet. I'm going to put it on the outside to just get a little deeper into my hip. And then start to walk that right leg back. And again, you can keep that left leg grounded. Doing that, I kind of feel that activation on the outside of the hip. You can start to peel the foot open like a book. That kind of gets more on the inside of the hip. All beautiful options. Maybe taking that pillow underneath your right hip for a little bit of support. I actually kind of like that on this side, so that's what I'm going to do. You might need something different this side from the other, and that is okay. We're just constantly trying to meet our bodies where they are at. Not trying to make them be something else other than what they are. This is your time to discover and love and nourish your body as it is. So maybe staying up on our hands, and again, you can get those neck circles in. Try to find more release. Maybe starting to walk down on our forearms. And if you get to the point where it's acute pain, some sharpness that's too deep, back out. And breathe space and grace. We're over halfway. Maybe coming back to your mind, your thoughts. How are they different on this side? Are they racing? Are they scattered? Are they frustrated? And noticing them, acknowledging them, and then sending them on their way. Your mind is not in the driver's seat right now. Your body is leading the charge on finding the pose, the asana. Coming back to that breath. That breath is the key to our nervous system. If we can have calm breath, even in an uncomfortable pose, right? Our nervous system stays calm and open and receptive. And then it's training us. If we can be calm on the mat, we can be calm on the poses of life. Right? That is the goal, to find that Zen-like peace throughout our life. And so we first must find it here. All right, there is our cue. Walking ourselves back up onto the hands. Maybe taking a moment to release the hips, so pushing the hips back. Maybe doing a half split, wiggling the hips side to side, just releasing some tension. And then as you feel ready, starting to make your way into our pigeon, our swan pose on the left side. So walking that left foot over to the right side of the mat, dropping the left knee down. Again, sinking the hips down, keeping that right toe untucked. Maybe you need that pillow, putting it under your hip, that block. Maybe not. Maybe you only need it for the start. So bring your foot in as much as you need to get comfortable. And then as your body opens up, you walk that left foot closer towards the top of the mat. And then finding some space. So maybe staying up the whole time. Sometimes I like to stay up because it has my upper body, kind of puts in pressure to really ground that left hip down. So there is no shame in staying up the whole time. That can sometimes be the most benefit. And if you want to get into the tissues at a different angle, we start to walk our elbows down very gently, easing back out if our body says no. We might take a block here on our forearms and having a block in front of the forehead, being able to drop it down, kind of give your forehead something to rest on. You might take that pillow, hug it lower down. It's another great way to find some comfort. And as you open up more, maybe starting to go deeper, bringing the elbows mat's width, taking one hand on top of the other and surrendering the head in. If you do go all the way down, really try to melt into it. Can we relax the shoulders? Make the chest, the heart heavy. And then it's getting some gentle pressure all on that left leg. So we're almost done. Just got one more pose after this. So let's commit to be present and breathe for just a little bit longer. Maybe start to notice, what feelings are coming up. The hips, they're big muscles. They've got a lot of nerves in them. So they hold a lot of that tension throughout our day. So you might be surprised as you get into those tissues that thoughts, that feelings, emotions, they just bubble up. And that's okay. It's beautiful. That means that you're getting the benefits. Almost done. 30 more seconds. All right, there is our cue. Gently start to walk yourself back up. And we're going to go into caterpillar pose next, our seated forward fold. So you might want to come back up through tabletop, but I am actually just going to shift my weight over on my left leg and swing both legs out in front of me to get to my seated fold position. So either way. But first, take a moment to release those hips. So take those knees, windshield wiper them side to side, release that tension. Maybe just start to notice how much difference they feel right now. And then start to set yourself up for our caterpillar pose. So bringing our legs out in front of us. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, and maybe taking a pillow underneath the knees can kind of help support them. You could also just take your legs, take your arms around your legs, wrap them, give a big bear hug, and just kind of gently wiggle your legs forward over time as you get into it. That's a great option. If you do have the openness in the legs to keep them straight, you could take a pillow and hug it and just hinge forward and then gently go lower over time. But if you have the most mobility, you can go deeper. Just do it old school, right? Just start to lift the heart and then hinge forward, rounding down. Maybe your elbows are coming down, palms facing up to receive, or maybe grabbing onto your legs. Maybe grabbing onto your feet if you want to go deeper. But we want to find softness. So don't go as deep as you can go. Right? Go to about 80%. And then just focus on really melting into this beautiful shape. Really tucking the chin. We're trying to get full flexion in the spine. So kind of imagining forehead coming to touch the knee one day. We're kind of make a letter P from the side. or a B, I guess depending on which way is up, which way is down. A P, B, or a D. That's the shape that we're taking. Your shoulders are heavy. They're kind of rounding forward. Big belly breaths here. You can really feel the breath. Connect with that breath. And feeling the rise and fall of the body as you inhale and exhale. And then as you soften and open up, can you walk your arms a little lower? Can you tuck that chin just a little bit more? Almost there. Just a few seconds left. All right, here's our cue. All that's left to do is make our way into our final Savasana. So you're welcome to stay seated if that feels safer. Otherwise, start to shift your hips forward, walk the shoulders back, make your way into whatever Savasana is calling to you. So you could go back into that reclining butterfly that we did at the beginning, if that feels good. Maybe taking your feet mat's width, dropping the knees in for a little fallen bridge option. Or maybe extending the legs out for a traditional. Heels are in, feet flop out. Arms by your side, palms up to receive. Or one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And just a couple of minutes here in good present rest, right? We're not falling asleep. We're not tuning out. Can we just be in this moment, fully aware, but focusing on our breath? Inhales, exhales, and nothing else. right, if your mind has wandered, gently starting to bring it back. And then gently starting to invite some movement, maybe wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, doing some circles with the wrists, circles with the ankles. And maybe starting to extend the hands overhead, stretching, giving a big good morning stretch. And gently starting to roll over onto your favorite side. Pausing for a moment, let your spine reset, come back to neutral. And then gently starting to press yourself up, coming into your favorite comfortable seats. All right, so we have done it. We have made it through. Taking a moment to notice how we're feeling. Maybe hands on your knees, really grounding down, connecting. Maybe hands at heart center, rubbing them together, feeling that sensation, that heat, connecting with this moment. And then pausing for a moment of reflection and awareness. Just assessing, how do we feel now at the end? Are we calmer, more balanced, ready to go back into the world? So for all of the effort, the time that you have put on your mat, it will pay off of the mat. You will see the benefits in your life. And so for putting the time in to care for yourself, I thank you. We all benefit from it. And until we meet on our mats again, I bow to you and say, Om Shanti, peace. Peace within, peace around, and peace to those who need it most. Thank you so much. If you found this at all helpful, I would love it if you'd like, subscribe. Let's help get this content out in front of the people that need it the most. And otherwise, just keep doing the good work, taking that tranquility, that peace out and into the world with you. And I will see you on our mats again soon. Bye.